You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is January 15th, 2025 meeting of the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening and welcome to the Michigan City Park Board meeting. Will you please join us and stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Yep. Miss Sperling,
Present.
Mr. Glidden,
Here.
Mr. Hoffman,
Present.
Miss Ward.
Present.
So if you don't mind, I will run the election of officers.
I don't mind.
Some of you are newer. So the first officer position is Park Board President. Do I hear a motion to nominate?
I would like to nominate Mr. Tim Glidden, the esteemed Mr. Tim Glidden.
Do we have a
I
second?
would second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. And do I hear a nomination for the position of Park Board President?
Vice President.
I'm sorry, Vice President? Oh, wait a minute. Do you accept, Mr. Glidden?
I will accept.
Thank you.
Nice.
So do I hear a motion for Park Board Vice President?
I would like to make a motion to nominate the esteemed Mr. Roscoe Hoffman.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do you accept, Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. And then lastly is the position of Park Board Secretary. Is there a motion to nominate?
Forgot about that one.
I would like to nominate the esteemed and wonderful Diane Sperling.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do you accept the position?
Accept.
Wonderful. So you two can switch seats.
Okay. You are too.
Next on the agenda are the 2025 liaison appointments. The first is an appointment to the Planning Commission, which meets the fourth Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the council chambers here. I think as president, you can ask people to serve. It's not really a vote at this point, or ask if anyone's interested to serve.
Mr. Hoffman, would you like to continue that?
I was going to ask if I could continue, please, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, I have appointed Mr. Hoffman to the Planning Commission liaison. The Port Authority? Ms. Ward, are you interested in Port Authority?
No. So the Port Authority meets on the first and third Mondays at 5 p.m. at the Port Authority offices in Washington Park.
We don't have to have somebody tonight, do we? If we,
You don't have to.
okay. Anybody interested in the Port Authority? Right now? All right. We'll put that off if that's all right. And the Zoological Society Board, I would continue to do that unless someone else would be interested. All right, the minutes of the previous meeting of January 2nd, 2025 have been published. Are there any corrections or additions? And I need a motion to accept the minutes.
I move that we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Are there any project updates?
There will be a presentation on the Fetters Alley Playground project later on your agenda.
Tabled business, we have the 2025 Zoological Society Park Department Memorandum of Understanding, and we've all had a copy. And Mr. Stimley has signed it for the Zoological Society. First, we need a motion to take it off the table.
I'll make a motion to take it off table, sir.
Second, sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And what's your pleasure? Mr. Stimley has signed it, and it's a continuation of the, it's a third year of the memorandum of understanding. Do you have any comment? Any comment from the public? Then we need a motion to proceed.
I'll make a motion to proceed, sir.
We need a motion to accept the Wolves Soccer, or excuse me,
Okay.
we need a motion to accept the 2025 Zoological Society Park memorandum.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2025 Zoo Society Park Department MOU.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, new business. We have the Wolves Soccer Club memorandum of understanding, and we have two people here from the Wolves Soccer Club, Justin Ward and Meredith Payne. Would you mind coming forward, please? No, I think I left them there. That's for you.
Okay.
Good evening. So we anticipate this, our spring season is always the larger season. Going back, it's always been bigger, and our most recent spring was 341 kids. So we anticipate at least that many again this time, which we're glad and happy to partner with you guys, but there were some concerns brought up. If you wanna-
Would you mind saying your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Meredith Payne.
I'm Justin Ward. The main concern that I've seen is the safety with the amount of parking, especially during the spring season when there's a lot of activity, baseball there, the traveling teams. Because our league itself is already almost filling up the parking lots. And you put travel in there, people are parking in the grass, backing up behind other vehicles. One thing I noticed last year was where the red gates are, past that, we're only supposed to have the umps, is what I was told. So they're next to the fields. Everyone's parking there. There's no one policing that area, telling who can go in and out. We have a U6 soccer field right by it. So you got 4 or 5-year-olds using that lane constantly. You got people on their phone, just driving, going up and down. So that's the main concern. I don't know if we can add parking right when we go into the field, maybe off to the right, closer to some of the buildings.
It has definitely been a complaint of parents and people coming to view soccer that they don't have a place to park. We know with the travel baseball, some of them bring in RVs and they park where they're not supposed to, but that's gonna happen and we can't really police that unless we literally had somebody at the door telling them where to go. But the safety of the participants and the parents and people trying to watch, we just want to make sure nobody gets run over.
Also, towards the baseball field area, we have our U8s and U10 soccer fields. There's no drainage there. So we were just wanted to brainstorm options, see who we can talk to try and get some drainage and get those fields in a better condition, especially the spring. I mean, you go out there on a rainy day and watch those kids getting their parents' cars, and some of it makes it unplayable. You get standing water out there, that's hard to play soccer in. And our numbers are just growing. We're going to need 2 fields sometimes for each age group, just to satisfy the numbers.
And I will say that Pat and his crew do a great job of moving the fields so that they're in a place that is better for playing. But we're obviously with 2 fields, we're not going to have that kind of an option. So when it's the bigger season, we have a bigger problem. So we're just bringing that to your attention to see what can be done.
I will say my kids have been doing the Wolves Soccer Club for a few years now, and I'll start off by saying you guys are doing a great job. The kids love it, and as parents we love it. And I know the parking issue, that's that's something that cannot be easily just answered right now. However, when we're looking at, the people who are going through areas, is that are there signs on there, sir, that say they can or cannot go through those areas?
There's signs there, the gate's even closed, but they'll get out of their car and open it.
And open the gates.
Yeah. And there's usually a attendant on service, especially when there's baseball going on there. But if the attendant is running people back and forth, especially the travel baseball, like they look for the person just to drive away so they can go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All concerns that you brought up now, they're all things that we're working towards, working on. We're well aware of, but neither is really an easy fix. But both, I mean, aren't necessary in the long-term scheme of Patriot Park being a good place to be for everybody.
Well, that's just when we survey parents, those are the two main issues for them. So we thought we'd bring it forward as well.
They survey us on Facebook. We hear them loud and clear.
That's unsolicited search.
I know we've talked about it here, at our meetings in the past, and is it more, I'm sure it's a budget issue as far as the cost. Yeah. Is that what is, council is well aware of it. How's it looking?
So yeah, we don't have funding for like capital improvements in our operating budget, so it would have to be funded by the city.
Mhm.
They are aware. If you look at the original plan for Patriot Park 25 years ago, it included 5 additional parking lots.
Wow.
And we've looked at, narrowing those down, which ones would make more sense, but we do need money. And in 2024, all capital was suspended. So looking forward, those lots have been on our capital list since 2021, the second year that the park opened, as well as the additional diamonds on the quads. Drainage, that's something that we'll have to kind of defer to our maintenance director. As much money as we put in drainage when that park was built, it's just astounding to me, the water problems that we have. But I think when we did the soil sampling, back then the water tables were just way lower. But we've looked at like cleaning out county ditches and anything we can do to alleviate. But it's just different 2 decades later. So yes, it's on our radar. Hopefully some money will open up in 25, 26. We do have some ARPA funding. So Will and I can talk to the mayor about that. It is for playgrounds and improving athletic fields and complexes. So something to look at. There's no way we're going to fund all those parking lots put in the correct way. We've talked about gravel, but you're just putting a Band-Aid on it, but maybe it's something we need a Band-Aid for a while. I just hate spending, $100,000 for a Band-Aid that we're going to lose the next year. I always just want stuff done. So yeah, we're looking at it.
The
We're aware of
gravel,
it.
the gravel would help, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Band-Aid, but they have D&M right over there. They crush up some of that concrete they have
And donate.
yeah, I'll talk to them.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So we're working on it. We'll definitely meet with Pat about the drainage again.
We appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. You did a great job. You serve a lot of kids. We appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
The next item of business is the approval of the preliminary
I
design.
need to vote
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I have made an error on my first meeting.
I thought you were doing great so far. You're doing
We're
great.
15 minutes in, yeah. We have the Wolves Soccer Club Memorandum of Understanding, which Mrs. Payne has signed. So we need any comment from the public? Any comment from the board? We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the Wolves Soccer Club MOU.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, we have the approval of the preliminary design of Fetters Alley Playground project.
Yes, tonight we have Joel Balden from Hitchcock Design Group and Austin Blomke from Jones Petrie Rafinski. They have partnered up to do the design and engineering on Fetters Alley. And you guys have seen the video, I think, and conceptual drawings. So this would be the first preliminary approval by this board to continue with that work. You want to introduce yourself, Joel?
Thanks, Shannon, and thanks, Park Board. My name is Joel Baldwin. I'm with Hitchcock Design Group, and I am here with Austin, going away Austin, with JPR. And so we're basically here today to give you really a summary of what we've been doing we've been working on this for the past 2 years with Will and Shannon, and we're now moving forward and completing the construction documents, but we're here to kind of give an update of what we've been doing for the past 2 years. So just real quick introduction. I've already introduced myself, but we're going to talk about the goal, existing conditions, and then the concept design, which is the bulk of the presentation, and then just next steps and discussion. So again, my name is Joel Baldwin. I'm a principal with Hitchcock Design Group. We're the prime consultant and landscape architect. Here with Austin. Austin's actually a landscape architect too, but he's representing his surveyors and architects and engineers, which is JPR's role on this project. So our goal was to create a destination playground that the whole community can be proud of. The new park will be inclusive, which is very important, big component of this project, and multi-generational and feature fitness stations and walking trails promote healthy lifestyles. So, what is an inclusive playground? Inclusive playgrounds support the abilities and recognize the possibilities of all community members. Existing conditions, we started the project by really went back to the master plan that we worked on for the park department, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. What's the date on there? I can't read it. So a little bit longer than that, about 8 years ago. So we were the prime consultant on the master plan. We started with that. Then we did a topographic survey of the site, did survey of all the existing trees. We obviously visited the site. These are just some of the images out of our schematic design report. Looked at what's there existing from the shelters and the playground and the trees and utilities and so on. We looked at all of Fetter's Alley. Those yellow blobs were 3 different concepts that we had. So we kind of looked at one in the go back. Sorry, I gotta not use my hands to talk, but so we had one on the east end, the west end, and in the middle. And after much discussion, we ended up on the west end, which is that blob on the west there. The red line is kind of the preliminary layout of a path that would encircle Fetter's Alley, and it's just some of the other symbols or some of the access to the beach and the natural areas and some of the utilities and so on that run through there. We actually had a public meeting on this project 2 years ago, maybe. We presented the concept that's very similar to where we're at today, and then we had a number of different images, and we did some visioning with the public. Maybe some of you were there, but that did occur, and these are just some of the boards from that exercise. So these are some images of the concept design. Next one. This is the overall plan view. A little bit hard to read, but this is all of Fetter's Alley, and you can see there's an accessible walking trail around the whole perimeter. We're looking to preserve as many trees as possible. Really, the only trees that are coming down are ones that are diseased or dying. And again, you can see the playground that's sort of tucked into the base of the slope in the northwest corner of the site. There's a new building, which I'll show you some images of tonight, that will have restrooms. And then there's a path that kind of winds down the hill. They're a little bit covered here, but there's fitness equipment, there's a little shelter, and then the playground area. This is zooming in on the playground area with some different images of some of the pieces, but you can see sort of the fitness equipment on the right-hand side, and then you come down the hill to the shelter, and then the entrance into the playground is what we call the entry plaza with the dragonfly sculptures, which you've probably seen images of, but we've got some later on. And then just the different play components, which I'll walk you through. One of the nice things about the playground too is that the large play piece actually connects to the top of the hill. And so you, from the top of the hill up by the restroom, you can come into the playground at sort of the second level and go down, which is nice. So we're really trying to utilize the topography here out there, which will give a nice feature to the playground. Next image. Here's a perspective of the entry plaza with the dragonflies. Just walking in a little bit, and you've got a little salamander off to your right, and a fish playground off to your left, which you'll see in boats straight ahead, and another little shelter in that area. Next, here's the fish structure. In the overall design, we're kind of, looking at just, Washington Park and Michigan City, and really getting inspired by the lake and the dunes and the plant material. And you really see that in the playground piece too. Just the colors that we're using. It's a custom piece in the towers and, looking like Miram grass and so on. So we're really trying to get to blend in with the surrounding environment. But here's a double zip line. Here's the small boats. Again, we're trying, we're tying it back into the Washington Park with the fish and the boats and the lake. The new restroom shelters, that sort of pink building up in the corner. When we modeled this, we didn't have that building design yet, but we do now. You'll see a little bit later. But there's a couple hill slides, again, utilizing that topography.
And it won't be pink, I assure you.
Yes. Just sort of turning around, looking back at the fishing pier. Again, encouraging accessibility. That boat is fully accessible. A little bit further down the playground, you can see the shelter in the background again with the hill slides. But these are some of the swings. Coming back towards the center of the playground, this is the large playground piece, and sort of see how you really access the playground piece from the second level and then come down into the playground with different types of slides. But it's very tall. So we've you could go up, and we have some very large slides. But again, we've modeled it to be inspired by the lakefront and the natural area and plants and bubbles and different things.
So it's important to note there where you're accessing that second level from the hillside, that's wheelchair accessible. So I have not seen any play towers like that where anyone in a wheelchair could access a second story. So it gives, that person the same view and the same experience as other abled people. So I think that was a super cool design.
Yeah, often you're at the ground level in a wheelchair, or you're on some really long ramp getting you up there. And it's just, this is you're right there. It's the same way everyone else is exiting the playground. I think there's just different image of it. We've got some musical pieces, which are the pieces over to the left. This is kind of the view from within the playground at the ground level. We got little, nooks and crannies and different areas for people to hang out and sit, and quiet spaces and so on, kind of some of those inclusive elements that are important. There's the access from, the higher levels coming into the second level of the playground. Just some of the, more ground views. This is image, inside the playground. This is, up on the decks, up on the second level. Just some of the views, from that second level out into the playground space. This is kind of back all the way on the other side, on the west side, sort of swinging around from the restroom to the exercise station. So the exercise station is off to your right there, and you continue. This swings down the hill, gets you down to the lower level where there's a shelter in the entry. Just zooming in on the exercise equipment. Another image of that. And then this, you can sort of, see how the ramp is coming down the hill. Then this is at the lower level of the space. And there'll be a little shelter there, and then the entrance in the playground. You can see the butterfly sculpture kind of in the background there. And this is just, elevated little bird's eye of what it'll look like. So the next component, which you guys probably haven't seen yet, but is the architecture. So it's a very simple structure, but we looked at some of the existing structures in the park. There's the old lighthouse building, and we try to pull some elements from that. And there's the entry building coming into the zoo, and then there's the old greenhouse building, the old WPA. So we're trying to pull different elements from all these different buildings that are within the park to come up with a new design. Next slide. This is the plan view. So it's the roof plan over on the left, and then the plan view on the lower right. And you can see there's a large women's restroom, a large men restroom. There's a little storage room, and then there's a family restroom as well. Then there's sort of a plumbing chase running down the middle. The materials that we're thinking about at the moment are up on top. We're looking at a split seam metal roof, and we're looking at sort of a dark gray to blend in with some of the greenhouse buildings specifically. Coming up with a brick color that matches some of the other buildings, and then limestone to match some of the other buildings, same pattern, same type. And then there may be some composite wood boards as well. Next image. So this is the image of the restroom building. This is the south elevation. It's actually the elevation from, actually the south and the north are basically the same right now. Now, one of the things that we're going to be looking at and developing further is we're looking to incorporate some art into this building, maybe a mural, maybe signage, but maybe different things that we're going to be studying. And we're going to be back here shortly. We'll be back next month, and hopefully by next month we've got some of this stuff further developed. So next one. So that's the west elevation. These are actually the entrances into the restroom, and there will be a set of drinking fountains as well. This is the east elevation, which is access into the chase and the storage room, and then into the family restroom. And then just a cross section of that building as well. So real quick summary, but our next steps are we're done with task one, and that was our site investigation and concept design and public engagement, which I just summarized for you. Our next task is finalizing the construction documents, and we're planning on getting that done in January, February, and March, late March, early April. And then we'll go out to bid. When we go out to bid, still to be determined. It could be this summer, it could be this fall, may still be next year. It's all contingent on final funding. And then task 4 is the construction administration and observation. So detailed schedule task 2. Obviously, we're here tonight to give you a presentation. We'll be continuing to move forward, and then I think I got the dates right, but February 19th is your next meeting, or you meet twice a month, right? So whatever, one of your next meetings. So we're hoping to be back to give you another presentation on really the construction documents, and then March 19th we'll be back to really give you a presentation on the final documents. So any questions?
Thank you. It's
We
beautiful.
do have the video. Well, if there's no more questions, we were going to play the video. You probably have all seen it. I'm not sure if all the public has seen it, but we do have a video walkthrough of the space too. So we're going to play that for you as well.
With the same music or with new music?
We don't like.
I don't know if the music's going to play or not,
Oh,
but
okay.
same music. You guys haven't told me you don't like the music.
Golden knees, but we have
Yeah.
a soundtrack.
Music's always hard because you have to. There's only so many songs you can pull off the internet without buying music is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
He was in the key E.
So any questions?
I think it looks lovely. Yes.
Thank you.
We don't have to vote to approve, right?
Yeah, we do need a vote, preliminary approval and then kind of midway design approval and final approval. Construction documents is required by the grants that we are receiving. So yes, it would require a vote.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the approval of the preliminary design of Fetters Alley Playground project.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. We have a agenda item, emergency purchase of a furnace for the, where is that at?
North Point Pavilion.
North Point Pavilion.
So according to our purchase policy, if we have an emergency situation, we can bypass getting the 2 quotes that we needed to get this fixed immediately. With the cold temperatures, we needed to get someone out there very quickly. They replaced a thermostat. So it wasn't a large purchase, $333. But in order to satisfy the requirements of our policy, the board would need to accept that.
And I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the emergency purchase of the furnace. That was very nice of that company to not charge an emergency charge. They're a very good
Yeah.
company.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We have 4 resolutions, and I will read the top of each of the resolutions that are all in common, and then the specific one when we get to it. Whereas the superintendent of the Park and Recreation Department has reported that certain transfer of funds are necessary within the budget of the Michigan City Department of Parks and Recreation because of unanticipated expenses from various accounts, which accounts do not have sufficient funds available for disbursement for said expenses. And whereas there are funds available for said purposes in various other accounts, which are not expected to be paid from said accounts during the remainder of this budget year. And whereas the Michigan State Parks and Recreation Department Board has determined that said expense to move accounts out of the negative for the year end is necessary and the account transfer should be made in order to meet said expenses. And now therefore be it resolved that the following transfer be made from the following named accounts. Okay, this is resolution number 1063. Decrease fund 2204.506 senior center fund, electric $1,000. Increase fund 2204.506 senior center fund, regular salaries and wages $1,000. Any questions? Any comment? Any comment from the public? Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept resolution number 1063.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I have resolution 1064. We're gonna decrease, we anticipate decreasing the fund 2211.000 recreation non-reverting fund contractual $13. Increasing fund 2211.000 recreation fund non-reverting fund charges and fees $13. Any comment or?
I move that we approve resolution number 1064.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have resolution number 1065, decrease fund 2508.000 golf fund contractual $663. Increase fund 2508.000 golf fund charges and fees $663. I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept resolution number 1065.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And in resolution 1066, decrease fund 2204.504 zoo fund education $962. Increase fund 2205.504 zoo fund charges and fees $962. Is there any discussion? I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept resolution number 1066.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Adult craft classes, item H.
Yeah, as you can read there is we already have the craft classes going for kids that starts on the 27th of this month, but the adults need some crafts too. So we have a string of wine and canvas events kind of planned already, but there are glass blowing events that we have been talking to people about, or can't even think of his name right now. John Risco. And a couple other things that we think people would like to do. Just kind of get out the house, get their hands busy, do something. And like I said, more activity for the citizens to do in our venues is the plan for 2025.
And where is it? Where we anticipate doing this where at Krieger or Senior Center?
Krieger Memorial. I just actually talked, we had our department heads meeting this morning, and I told them that I'll use Memorial for a lot. Only because if we try to get something consistently going in the summertime, it's hard to consistently get into the senior center with the parking situation. So that's why I chose Memorial for a lot more activity.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Any comment from the board? Any comment from the public? Then I would entertain a motion about the adult craft classes.
I get it.
I'd make a motion to accept the adult craft classes.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Reports of officers, superintendent's report.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to welcome Keisha Ward to the Park Board. Keisha, if you need any information, please feel free to contact Will and I. We typically will sit down with new board members, any of you that want to go over budgets or annual reports, programming, anything of that nature. So we're excited to have you on the board. Welcome. I'd like to report that our directors and Will and myself will have all of our full-time employee evaluations completed by the end of this month. Most of the directors have completed theirs and done a very good job, and Will and I will be finishing up with the director evals. I'm currently still working on the IDEM grant to write a new Trail Creek watershed management plan. I am the chair of the watershed partnership. It is a partnership, not an organization, with about 30 organizations from federal, state, local government, the environmental world, land trusts, just interested citizens. The reason that it's important to rewrite this plan, why it's important to the park department, as I get a lot of environmental grants and you have to have a planning document to refer to get that money. I was the only person in the position to write the grant from the partnership. It has to be a municipal government entity. So as much as I really didn't have time to write another grant, it really is important. And I'll be bringing back the final application to you at your meeting in February, on February 5th, and I'll be submitting on the 7th. I will warn you, it's all technical. It's all water quality data. So it's not an easy read, but I will need your approval on February 5th. What's that? And then lastly, Will, myself, and Eric from Special Events met with LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau yesterday to start planning for this year's Great Lakes Grand Prix. There will not be a jet ski race this year, so that has pulled out. What's that? So we will need to revise the contract. If you remember, we have a 3-year contract for Great Lakes Grand Prix and jet skis that can be renewed by the board annually. So I'll just pull the jet ski races out of that, adjust some of the dates, and bring that back to you at your next meeting in February. And that is all I have, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Vandalism? Any vandalism?
There was no vandalism.
That's good news.
It's too cold. Nobody wants to go.
The Assistant Superintendent's report. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Excuse me. Today is the first day of youth baseball signups that are being done here in person at the Park and Rec Department and on the Auto app. Today is also the first day that we're officially using our new online registration software, the Auto app. And as expected, it started off with some hiccups, but towards the end of the day, it looks like it's been running pretty good. I actually just got a text from a developer just now saying that he just fixed something else. So really excited for the Auto app and what it brings to the table. What else? Chess Club. Michigan City Chess Club will be on first and third Mondays at Memorial Hall. The first one being on January 20th. And it's from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The first couple weeks, it will be very unstructured, I would like to say. More of a meeting of chess players than a real club, but that's just to get people in the door. And then we'll start formally adding people and sanctioning people and figuring out rankings and everything for tournaments that's coming down the line. So everyone is welcome. We have people that will be there to teach for younger people. Anybody 16 or under has to be accompanied by an adult. Craft Corner, City Kids Day Camp Craft Corner is something that we also have starting up this month on January 27th. Craft Corner will be on second and fourth Mondays, and the sign up for the class, the registration for the class will open the week before the class is. So for the first class on the 27th, the registration opens on the 20th, the Monday before every time. And that information is on the Auto app, which I say again, please go download the Auto app. And lastly, there is a Wine and Canvas event that's coming up on February 15th. The tickets will go on sale on February 1st. And I don't have a price yet because I'm waiting on a possible entertainment piece to be added to the ticket. I should find that out by this weekend, and that should start being advertised on the Auto app. So make sure you get on whatever phone you use, go to the App Store and download the Auto app. The Auto app is one word, OTTO app. OTTO app, one word. And that is all I have. And I will never hold a pen in my hand again when I speak on the microphone.
Thank you, Will. We have a Planning Commission liaison report, Mr. Hoffman.
Planning Commission didn't meet, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Freeze was our Port Authority Liaison Officer, and he, of course, is not here, so we'll work on filling that position. The Michigan City Zoological Society has not met, and they will not meet until March. Attorney's report?
Thank you, President Clinton. I have nothing to report, but welcome to everybody in your new position, so that's great.
Thank you. Director's reports?
No, sir.
Department of Finances, Mrs. Spurley.
Okay, I'm up. Okay, the first is the Michigan City Park Department City Claims docket for January 15th, 2025. Municipal is $19,797.21. Golf petty cash is at zero, so the total claims is the $19,797.21. And would someone make a motion to approve this, please?
Second.
I need the motion.
Oh, I thought you made a, yeah, I'll make a motion. I'm so used to.
She made the motion.
Yeah, motion.
What was the motion?
Yeah.
I thought you had it, okay. Okay. Okay, you're
Mrs.
right.
Spurley made the motion, Mr. Hoffman seconded.
Yeah, I screwed up within the first minute of how to put this.
You're doing fine.
Okay. Keep me in here.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, payroll number 26 from 2024, December 8th, 2024 to December 21st, 2024. Pay date, December 27th, 2024. Total payroll, $69,425.71.
Who do we accept the pay?
What's that?
You make a motion to accept the pay.
I'm making a motion to accept the payroll.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the financial report for gifts and donations. The first one is Wix.com, miscellaneous zoo donation online for $539.82. The second one is from Harbor Trust, a very generous donation also. Park donation, Fedder's Playground for $50,000. Wow. I would like to make a motion to approve these two gifts and donations.
Second.
All in,
I'm sorry, if I could interject before you vote, Harbor Trust was the bank, but the donor was Duneland Health Council. So thank you very much to them.
Well, thank you,
Okay.
doing it. Health.
Okay.
Council.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Is that it?
That's it for gifts and donations.
Okay.
On the minor transfers, do you read every single one of these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have time.
Okay. Okay, minor transfers, golf fund, 2508.000, decrease account 411.016, overtime, $824, increase account 411.013, regular salaries and wages, $817, increase account 411.014, seasonal salaries and wages, $7, decrease account 439.090, contractual, $283, increase account 435.010, electric, $283, admin fund, 2204.502, decrease account 435.050, sewage for $880, increase account 434.010, electric for $737, increase account 435.040, water $143, decrease account 433.010, printing contractual $181, increase account 432.040, telephone $181, decrease account 413.001, FICA for $1,050, increase account 411.015, board compensation $1,050. For the zoo fund, 2204.504, decrease account 413.004, unemployment $9,752, increase account 411.013, regular salary and wages $8,609, increase account 411.016, overtime $1,022, increase account 413.003, IMPRS $120, increase account 413.005, health insurance $1, Decrease account 422.031 household supplies, $495. Increase account 422.033 pesticide chemicals, $73. Decrease account 439.091 education, $7,878. Increase account 439.090 contractual, $7,878. Nothing for the Zoom endowment. Board of Works, nothing. Credit card. Oh, do I have to stop there or do I keep going?
Let's stop and.
Oh, yes,
approve
yes,
the,
Sorry.
minor transfers.
Ooh, I was on a roll.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to approve all of these minor transfers.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Zoo endowment, there is none. Do you say that or just skip it?
You don't have to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Just credit card, okay. And credit card charges totaling $3,274.24 were paid to corporate payment systems for the following: Epic Sports, recreational gear, $1,226.48. Baseball savings, recreation gear, $1,468.95. Dimitri, if I said that right, boutique recreation comedy show, $482. God bless you. LA Hose Reels, maintenance garden hose reel swivel for $66.81, and IPRA for administrative land water sign, $30. I'd like to make a motion to approve these credit card charges.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Are there any comments from the public? Thank you for coming. Any comments from the park board? Or our liaison? Any comments?
Since you forced it out of me. Just wanted to compliment the park board, and I was really happy to see the video of the what's happening down there in Fetters. I hadn't had a chance to see it all, so it was really good to see that. There was one thing I was looking for when it went past the merry-go-round. I was hoping that Shannon would give me a little bit of the 70s and 80s and one of those death wheels when you turn it really, really fast and kids are flying off of that thing. But I'm sure she would not allow that at this time. So, but it was a great presentation, and I'm looking forward to that, along with others on the city council as well. They're all in favor of what's going on in Fetters, and we look forward to this coming to fruition at one point. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? I'd like to welcome our newest member, Keisha Ward,
Yes. Sure.
and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. President.
I need a
Nice.
gavel. We are adjourned.